So as you can see, Zach has really brought me out to the middle of nowhere.
And I'm not sure if you noticed on the way out here, there's something unique about this car.
Yeah, it's manual and I don't drive manual and I have to drive this Miata today.
So today is like trial by fire. So I brought you out here to sort of a rural setting, so it's gonna be easy.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's gonna be easy. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm all for it.
And the thing is, it could be a marriage breaker, but we're gonna find out.
So let's get at it.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. Okay, Andrea, for demonstration purposes, this is how easy it is to get the soft top down.
I know, it's so easy.
One hand. And
they kept it light.
And the thing is, they sell two versions of this car. This is the classic convertible, and then they have what's called the RF, retractable fastback. I don't think that looks good. I like this car. That's why I had the choice. Which one do you want? I want the classic.
I like the soft top as well, and I like the idea that they've given it a lot of thought to make sure that it was lightweight to keep the car weight down as well.
I've been to many MX-5 or Miata programs, and they call it gram management.
Yeah.
They go through every single piece in the car and reduce as much weight as they can. And when you do that, you get a lightweight, fun to drive car. It's interesting, when Subaru and Toyota brought out the Toyota 86 and the BRZ or BRZ, everybody was like, oh, it's this fun, lightweight little car. Well, there always has been one. It's called the MX-5.
Yeah, this car is the best-selling two-seater sports car in all of history. That's impressive.
Yeah, and there's a lot of heavy hitters in there. There's MGBs and Triumphs and all those classic English roadsters.
It's actually a lot like the 1950s and 60s cars that you're talking about. And they say that, or frequently called, the spiritual successor of these cars. How about that?
I love when you talk dirty like that. All right, so last year, Mazda made a big change to this car. They added 17% more power. Now, it was a great handling car and a lot of fun to drive, but when you add more power, it's just going to make it better. So it's now up to 181 horsepower.
That's great, isn't it? 151 pound-foot of torque. You can feel the power in it. It's very agile.
Well, you haven't driven it yet.
I'll have my moment. You can still feel a car without driving it.
Yeah, here's the thing. I've driven, I think this is the fourth video I've done on this latest generation. So I encourage you to click on the cards that you'll see here, because I'm seeing an evolution even of this current model. So they've added more power, but the big thing for me is they've added a lot more content.
Right.
So the criticism was, great car, great handling, all of that, but the price was high. And now they've said, okay, well, we'll give you more power, that's welcome, and then we'll also add more content.
Yeah, which is huge. There are so many standard features now on this car. It's coming in at just over $33,000.
Do you want to read some of the standard features? They're in there.
We've got our cheat notes here.
They're right down there.
So it's got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is super important. 6 speakers, including driver headrest
Oh yeah, that's
speakers.
one thing I should say, is when you're driving along, because it's an open air, you have the speakers in the headrest. The first car I ever drove in the early 90s was a Miata with that. And also when your phone call comes on, it goes right here, so you hear it.
Yes. Smart city brake support, rear view camera, LED headlights, and signature lighting. I mean, we can go on and on. It's got a 7-inch color screen. Super easy to use.
I think one of the big ones is they added these black wheels are now standard equipment.
Right.
So they're 17 inches.
Yeah.
So a lot of the features that you kind of really want are in this car. One thing I'm seeing though, no heated seats. This is Canada, people.
No heated seats.
And you have to go up to the next level, which is the sport package. You can get, and it's a really nice package, because not only do you get sport seats, they're Recaros, they're heated. On top of the seats, you get an upgraded suspension, you get Brembo brakes, and that's about $4,500 more.
Right, so a little bit more, but you could get by, you know, just taking the standard features and coming in at just over $33,000.
So the car you see here is the base car, the only option they have is the optional red paint, which is $450.
That's right, which is really a Mazda signature color. A lot of our press cars, we get this color.
All of them have been this color.
Yeah, really, it's a really pretty color. I like it quite a bit.
So when I say the first thing you think of with an MX-5 or a Miata, what do you think?
I think of it as being a chick car. And it's not coming from me, it's just what I hear all the time, is that it's just not that muscle car like a Mustang convertible that a lot of guys love. But here's the thing, Mazda says that 60% of sales are from men.
Yeah. Now, that could also be that I bought the car, it's registered in my name as a male, but you might be the one who drives it.
Sure.
Like, we don't know those dynamics.
No, we don't know.
But I would say it's probably pretty evenly split. Here's what I say, is if you consider yourself an enthusiast of cars, you owe it to yourself to try this car at some point, because once you drive this car, you quickly realize that, as I mentioned, it's the most densely thought out little sports car on the road, and it's just pure joy.
Well, you've always been a big fan of the Miata from the get-go. This car has been around a long time. It launched in 1989 at the Chicago Auto Show. Love
Someone's been
Chicago.
on Google.
Love Chicago. But it's been a massive success for Mazda. You can't take it away from the company, can you?
There's two things that Mazda has done right. First of all, they stuck with it, right? How many great little cars and fun cars have come and gone? Like, think of the Prelude from Honda.
Oh, yeah.
Great car, long gone, right?
My neighbor had a Prelude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Toyota Celica, long gone. So there's been all of these great cars that have come and gone. Mazda has stuck with it, and on top of that, they didn't get fat and bloated and big. They kept it this tiny little fun to drive car. And enough of me talking, it's time for you to drive. You ready?
Okay, but I have one more question for you, and I'm just curious to know if you know the answer to this, because you've gone on lots of press launches for Mazda. You said you've been in, the Miata countless times. And has anybody ever asked how they came up with the name Miata?
Oh, I've heard it, but I can't remember what it is.
Okay, so I thought this was the coolest. First off, Mazda, when they came out with this car, they were actually going to call it had rotary in the name because
rotary
of the
engine.
But they came up with Miata, which actually means, in the old High German language, prize.
Oh, so it's German based.
It's German based.
Okay.
And so I think it's kind of cool that it has this name attached to it, because it's very fitting.
Yeah. And they never went with a rotary engine. So there you go. All right, time for Andrea to drive. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm going to give you a little lesson first, though, okay? Before we get to Andrea trying manual, she'd love it if you'd follow along on Instagram, motormouth_Andrea. And for my page, it's motormouth_auto. Okay, I'll do my little spiel about how a manual transmission works. So just think of the engine as turning, like it's running, so as a turning motion.
Right.
Okay, and then the wheels are turning. Right, and if they're connected and the wheels stop, what happens to the engine? It stops turning, right? So that clutch is the buffer that allows you to come up to a light, put the clutch in, keep the engine running, and then release it, and away you go. It's also what you use to change gears. Put your foot on the clutch all the way down. Okay, now you're in gear. So I would pull it back into neutral.
Okay.
There you go. Neutral's in the middle like that. And push the button. Okay. Now, because the neutral is like having the clutch in. Let the clutch out. It's the same thing.
Okay. So you don't have to
so having it in neutral, you're not connected. Okay. So put the clutch in. Now you're going to grab first gear. Oh wait, what gear do you have to in?
S for subscribe, but there is no S, so just subscribe.
We practice that. Put it in S for subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. All right, we did that. All right, put it in first gear.
We did it. Okay.
And that's up there. Okay, so I showed Andrea before the H pattern of where the gears are. All right, put your handbrake down here.
Yeah.
Okay, that goes down. You're in gear. Now slowly release the clutch, and you'll start to feel it grab.
Yeah.
Okay, then you take your foot off the brake and add a little bit of gas. All right, that's okay. It's okay. Same thing. You don't have to put it. You've got the clutch in, so you can leave it in first gear. Start the engine. Okay. So it's a little bit of a dance. You start to
now,
feel.
Now, do I have to keep my foot on the brake, or I can release the brake now?
Yeah, because we're flat. You're not going to roll away.
Right.
Okay, release the clutch a little bit. Okay. Whoa, speedy. And now clutch, and let it out.
Oh,
okay, you're doing
okay.
Okay. Slow down, because this is all new, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, that's what you've done. You've used the clutch to engage the engine and also to change gears.
Right.
Okay. We should confess, we did practice a little bit yesterday.
We did go around the neighborhood just for a short time, and it was pretty good. I did okay.
Yeah, you're doing really well. Okay, let's grab third gear. So clutch in, release the throttle, grab third gear, and let it out. There you go. See, there you're in it. Now hands back on the wheel. So that's one thing you have to get used to is switching from the steering wheel to the transmission.
Yes.
Okay, we're coming up to some speed bumps here. So go down into second gear.
Yeah.
Go down to second gear, clutch in, back down to the bottom. There you go. Let it out. Easy peasy. And hand back on the wheel. There you go. And now you're just driving.
That's pretty tricky, hand back on the wheel, because you really want to leave it there.
Well, driving with one hand doesn't give you much steering capability, and this doesn't really do anything. And actually, you can wear out the bushings in the transmission by resting your hand on there. It's kind of, people feel cool doing it, but it doesn't really serve any purpose.
Right.
You're there just to change gears, and then you take your hand off.
Yeah.
Now, the hill hold. So what happens is, the car knows. Okay, we're going to grab third gear now. Up to third. There you go. Clutch out. You're doing it. The car knows you're on a hill.
Yeah.
And when you take your foot off the brake, it'll hold those rear brakes for 3 seconds, which allows you enough time to let the clutch out and to get going.
This is super fun.
It is fun.
It just feels so light and agile, fun. I see the appeal of the Miata.
Do you see the appeal of a manual transmission?
I do.
This is the real thing. We had 2 Porsche 911s, Andrea.
I know.
And they were manual transmission, and you wanted nothing to do with them.
Well, it's not because I didn't want to learn manual transmission. I just didn't want to do anything to those cars because they were your pride and joy. If I had a Miata, well, you know what? Maybe I would be really
open to it?
Yeah.
When Andrea and I started dating, I had a BMW M6.
I remember it well.
And we went, I think was it in Port Angeles?
Yeah.
Port Angeles in Washington State. I said, come on, I'll teach you how to drive manual. And after about a couple of 100 meters, you're like, well, I don't need to drive this. They will sell you an automatic.
It is true, and automatics are pretty good. But that M6, that was really tricky. I don't remember it being as easy as that.
But you're a blonde in a ponytail driving a Miata. You are the stereotype. Huh?
Yeah, it's true.
And you're okay with that?
Well, what do I care?
Exactly.
I don't care. I remember that with the Volkswagen Cab. Same thing.
Yeah, I remember when we started dating, I had a
Yellow.
a bright canary yellow Volkswagen cabriolet with white pinstripe seats.
Yeah.
And we were driving out this way towards Surrey, and these guys in a pickup truck looked out the window and they said, dude, is that your girlfriend's car?
I know.
I didn't get to
terrible.
pick. I didn't get to pick.
Well, you don't get to pick the color, so you just have to go with it when you're reviewing cars.
You just pick it up and go, oh, I see, canary
But
yellow.
I love that car. There were many times that we went out for lunch in that car.
Well, maybe that's how I landed you, honey, was all the fancy press cars.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think that's how you landed me.
It's the Zork Spengler charm.
Yeah, there's something about you. There's something about you.
Like a bad smell, you can't get rid
It's all
of
up
me.
here.
Okay, let's see if we can pull in somewhere here. Let the clutch out.
Oh.
Easy, easy, easy.
Oh.
Okay, stop. Okay, now you can let her go. Okay, a little bit of gas. Oh, you stalled it. All right. Let him go by. Oh, and there's the cyclist coming. A lot of pressure here, Andrea. Okay, after the white car.
Okay.
In first gear.
I'm in first. Oh yeah, he's waving. He probably never seen me.
And hard acceleration. Second gear. Let go, let go, let go. You have to do that dance. You have to let off the throttle just as you put the clutch in. You got it that time. So it's this sort of like your 2 feet dance like this.
Yeah.
And then there's the third element, which is what's called heel and toe braking, where you brake and you blip the throttle at the same time.
Right.
That's very progressive. That's very advanced, I should say.
Sure.
That can take years to learn that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it is tricky. I think when you're driving, it's just got to be top of mind, like riding a bike. You can't
think about it. It's got to be second nature.
Overthinking, or you kind of panic a bit.
Here's the thing about driving a manual transmission. You learn so much more about the car when you drive a manual, and especially a car like this. The longer you own it, the more you drive it, the more you become its partner. Like if you
At one with the car.
At one with the car, because what happens is you get to know, it's like you're a road buddy. You get to know where the power is, where the torque is, where the handling is, and you get a lot more feedback when you drive a manual transmission.
Yeah.
It's just more fun, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Good
I
job,
can totally
Andrea.
see
Good
that.
job.
Thank you. You're a good instructor. You're a good instructor. But
Yeah.
I'm also a really good student.
If you don't mind saying so yourself. Well, Andrea, you lost your cherry to a bright cherry red MX-5 Miata for the driving stick. How was it?
Oh, wow. It was great. I had a lot of fun.
Was it easy?
I think I did a pretty good job. I didn't actually find it that hard.
So overall with this car, I mean, it is just the most densely thought out little package of joy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just an amazing little car. I can see the appeal. I like that it's fuel efficient, and I really like the price tag. So Zach, to keep me motivated to drive stick, what are you thinking that I may need?
Something red with black wheels?
Could be, could do.
Car Cost Canada provides the dealer's cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get access to exclusive and powerful savings. The link is in the description below.